Picture this. It's December 2019. Juventus is playing Sampdoria. A totally normal cross comes floating into the box, and suddenly, Cristiano Ronaldo launches himself an astonishing 8 feet 5 inches into the air to score an absolutely brilliant header. But you know what? The sheer height wasn't even the craziest part. What left the entire world completely speechless was that he seemed to literally hit pause on gravity. Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're going to completely deconstruct the mechanical hardware and the biological software of one of the greatest athletes in human history. We are going to look at exactly how he masters physics to fly and how he manipulates biology to basically stay immortal. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the myth of hang time, the physics of 5G forces, reversing human biological age, the 90-minute sleep hack, fueling and sub-zero recovery, and finally, the immortal athlete mindset. Section 1, the myth of hang time, defying gravity. So let's go right back to that legendary December 2019 jump. The visual of him just hovering above the defenders created a massive scientific mystery. 1.5 seconds. That is the shocking amount of airtime Ronaldo actually achieved during that header. I mean, let me ask you, is it actually possible to pause gravity? Because Newton's laws tell us that the second an object lifts off the ground, it follows a strict parabolic trajectory. You absolutely cannot change your speed or your path in midair. So why do our eyes tell us that he's just frozen up there? Well, the answer lies in a really fascinating physics phenomenon called the projected illusion. Basically, when Ronaldo reaches the absolute peak of his jump, his center of mass is still following that normal downward curve dictated by gravity. But, and here's the genius part, by suddenly folding his legs backward and violently contracting his core, he shifts his body weight in a way that visually freezes his upper torso and head in a flat horizontal line for a few crucial milliseconds. Elite NBA players use this exact technique, sure, but Ronaldo is pulling it off in the middle of a chaotic pitch, in heavy boots, without the benefit of a bouncy wooden basketball court. Section 2, the physics of 5G forces, the secret formula. To really understand what's happening up in the air, we actually need to shift our focus back down to the ground. A comprehensive scientific study by Castrol revealed something absolutely mind-bending. When Ronaldo takes off with a run-up, he is hitting the dirt with 5G of force. Just to put that into perspective for you, for an 80-kilogram body, that means his muscles are generating 400 kilograms of pressure into the ground. Guys, that matches the push-off force of a sprinting cheetah. It is literally wild. And this brilliantly illustrates how he channels that immense force. It comes down to two mechanical pillars. First up, the plyometric spring. His calf and quad muscles are acting like highly reactive coils, absorbing kinetic energy right before the jump and releasing it instantly. Second is the kneaded chest tuck. By tucking his knees as he rises, he dramatically reduces his rotational inertia. That is what keeps his upper body flawlessly stable in the air, allowing him to aim the ball like a fighter jet locking onto a target. Now, let's contextualize this with a direct comparison. Elite NBA players, think Michael Jordan in his prime, could hit a 48-inch vertical. Ronaldo is hitting a 41-inch running vertical, firmly placing him in the top tier of elite basketball athletes. But wait, compare the conditions. NBA players are jumping on a highly responsive, super bouncy wood floor, wearing lightweight sneakers with tons of match stops. Ronaldo is executing his 41-inch vertical on soft, energy-absorbing muddy grass, wearing heavy football studs, and oh yeah, he's often doing it in the 89th minute of a grueling 90-minute marathon. The sheer mechanical output is just staggering. Section 3, reversing human biological age, the software. All right, so we've seen the mechanical hardware, but how on earth is this physical output still happening as he ages? 41. When the average professional footballer hits 34 or 35, their body naturally just begins to surrender. Muscle mass drops off, stamina evaporates. Yet at 41 years old, Cristiano Ronaldo is still out there sprinting past defenders 20 years younger than him. He is actively rewriting the biological roles of human aging. When sports medicine doctors recently put his body through rigorous clinical testing, the medical community was completely stunned by the results. Despite his chronological age, his biological age, like the actual cellular wear and tear on his body, registers as a 20 to 23-year-old elite athlete. No joke. Furthermore, his body fat consistently hovers at under 7%. And make no mistake about this level of physical preservation is not just good genetics. You don't accidentally maintain sub 7% body fat in your 40s. This is the direct result of extreme, hyper-disciplined biohacking that honestly, very few humans could ever mentally or physically survive. Section 4, the 90-minute sleep hack, polyphasic routine. So we've all been told that a solid, continuous 8 hours of sleep is the absolute gold standard for human health, right? Well, Ronaldo completely rejects that role. Working with renowned sleep coach Nick Littlehills, he adopted a polyphasic sleep routine. Instead of one long block of sleep, he takes 5 90-minute sleep cycles distributed throughout the entire 24-hour day. Why 90 minutes? Because that's exactly how long it takes the human brain to complete one full REM and deep sleep cycle. Normal people wake up mid-cycle after 8 hours and feel super groggy. Ronaldo wakes up at the exact end of a natural cycle, meaning testosterone and human growth hormones are constantly peaking all day long. Plus, he has a strict rule: absolutely no digital screens 90 minutes before any sleep. Gotta guarantee that perfect melatonin production. Section 5, fueling and sub-zero recovery. But rest is really only half the battle. We now move from his meticulously engineered sleep routine to his hyper-strict fuel intake and radical damage repair methods. I think we all remember that famous press conference where he visibly pushed away 2 bottles of Coca-Cola and sternly just declared, "Agua." It's a funny little moment for sure, but it perfectly cements his absolute dictatorship over his own nutrition. There are no cheat days. There are no compromises. Let's quickly run through his actual dietary parameters. He eats exactly 6 meals a day, perfectly spaced every 3 to 4 hours. And this isn't just because he's hungry. Eating this frequently prevents his body from ever entering a catabolic state where it might start burning muscle for energy. He consumes 0% processed sugar, 0% alcohol, and extremely low sodium to avoid water retention. It's just an endless cycle of high clean protein and complex carbs, like his absolute favorite Portuguese codfish dish, bacalhau à brás. Now, what's really interesting about this next number is how extreme it is. Minus 160 degrees Celsius. Because eating and sleeping perfectly is great, but elite training literally tears your muscles apart. To handle this kind of extreme damage, Ronaldo has a custom $50,000 cryotherapy chamber installed right in his house. Let me walk you through this rapid biological hack because it's wild. Step 1. Immediately after a brutal match, he steps into the freezing vapor for exactly 3 minutes. Step 2. The extreme sub-zero cold triggers an evolutionary survival response, violently forcing blood away from his limbs and straight into his core organs to protect them. Step 3. The moment he steps out into room temperature, a massive wave of fresh, highly oxygenated blood rushes back into his muscles. This instantly flushes out lactic acid and dramatically reduces inflammation. He basically takes what is normally a 48-hour athletic recovery period and condenses it into just a few freezing minutes. Section 6. The Immortal Athlete Mindset. And here we arrive at the core of it all. Because look, you can have the science, you can have the diet, and you can buy the cryo chamber, but the mental toll of this routine, that is the ultimate filter. Treat your body like a machine. Natural talent will absolutely give you a head start in life, but it won't make you a legend. What forges a living legend is brutal, unwavering consistency. Think about it. When his teammates are out celebrating a major victory, Ronaldo is checking his 90-minute sleep watch. When others are indulging, he is eating plain boiled chicken. Reversing your biological age and mastering physics is possible, but it requires treating yourself with the absolute precision of a machine. Which brings us to our final thought for today. The science of the Cristiano Ronaldo code is laid out right in front of us. It's not magic, guys. It is extreme, relentless discipline. The blueprint exists. So the real question isn't how he does it, but rather, are you willing to pay the price for immortality? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.